Every human being has needs. We need food to eat, water to drink, clothes to wear, a home to live in, and people to love us. These are our basic needs. Without them, life can be very difficult. But while these needs help us survive, they are not enough to help us truly live. There is something deeper, something more powerful, something that gives life real meaning. That something is purpose. Purpose is the reason why we wake up in the morning. It is the reason we keep going, even when things get hard. Purpose gives our life direction, passion, and meaning. Needs are important for survival, but purpose is important for fulfillment. When we live only to meet our needs, we survive. But when we live with purpose, we thrive. Understanding needs. Let's begin by talking about needs. Every day, people wake up and go to work. Why? Because they need money to buy food, pay rent, and support their families. Some people take jobs they don't enjoy because they need to earn. That's not wrong. It is responsible. We must meet our needs. Without money, food, or shelter, it is very hard to think about anything else. Needs keep us alive. They are urgent. When we are hungry, we can think of nothing but food. When we are cold, we only want warmth. That's why needs often control our actions. We are wired to focus on survival first. The trap of only fulfilling needs. But here is the problem. If we only live to fulfill our needs, our life becomes a cycle. We wake up, work, eat, sleep, and repeat. We spend years in this loop. Slowly, we begin to feel empty. We wonder, is this all there is? We may have enough to live, but we don't feel alive. That's because human beings are not just made for survival. We are made to grow, to create, to connect, and to make a difference. When our days are spent only in chasing needs, we begin to lose our spirit. We start to feel tired, lost, or unmotivated. That is when we must ask ourselves, what am I really living for? The power of purpose. This is where purpose comes in. Purpose is not about survival. Purpose is about meaning. It is the reason behind our actions. It is the fire in our hearts that keeps us moving forward. Purpose gives us a goal, a mission, a dream. When we live with purpose, we don't just react to life, we lead it. We don't just survive, we create. We don't just exist, we make every day count. Purpose makes even ordinary actions feel meaningful. What does purpose look like? Purpose can look different for each person. For some, purpose is helping others. For others, it is creating music, writing stories, teaching children, or building something new. Purpose doesn't have to be big or famous. It just has to matter to you. A mother who raises her children with love has purpose. A teacher who inspires students has purpose. A worker who builds homes with care has purpose. A young person who dreams of starting a business to help their community has purpose. Purpose is everywhere, if we are willing to find it. Purpose gives us strength. Life is not always easy. Sometimes we fail, sometimes we lose, sometimes we feel broken. But if we have purpose, we can keep going. Purpose gives us strength in hard times. It reminds us why we started. It helps us get up when we fall. Think of people who have done great things in history. Scientists who spent years on experiments. Artists who kept painting despite rejection. Activists who fought for justice. They didn't keep going just because they needed to. They kept going because they had purpose. Purpose is long-term. Needs are short-term. Needs are often short-term. We meet them, and then they come again. We eat today, but we are hungry tomorrow. We earn today, but we must earn again. There is no end to needs. Purpose, on the other hand, is long-term. It guides your whole life. It doesn't disappear once you meet it. Instead, it grows with you. As you grow, your purpose deepens. That's why purpose brings lasting joy, while needs bring only temporary satisfaction. Living without purpose feels empty. You can have a big house, a good job, and lots of money. But if you don't have a purpose, you may still feel lost. Many people today feel stressed and unhappy, not because they lack needs, but because they lack purpose. They work hard, earn more, buy things, but inside they feel empty. They wonder, why am I doing all this? That's because purpose is missing, and no amount of money or comfort can replace the power of purpose. Purpose brings fulfillment. Fulfillment is different from happiness. Happiness comes and goes. It depends on what happens. But fulfillment is deeper. It comes from knowing that your life matters, that you are doing something meaningful. When you live with purpose, even a tough day can feel worthwhile. Even when you are tired, you feel satisfied. You sleep better. You wake up with energy. You feel proud of how you spend your time. Purpose builds character. Living with purpose makes you stronger. You become more focused, more patient, more disciplined. You are less afraid of failure. You take more risks because you are not just living for comfort. You're living for something greater. Purpose also makes you kind. When you know your purpose, you start to care about others. You want to give, not just take. You want to help, not just receive. You become a better person, not just for yourself, but for the world. Finding your purpose. So how do you find your purpose? The answer begins with you. You must look inside. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? What work would I do, even if I didn't get paid? What do I care about deeply? What pain have I experienced that I want to heal in others? What would I regret not doing when I am old? These questions take time, but the more honest you are, the clearer your purpose will become. Purpose often comes from pain. Sometimes our biggest challenges lead us to our purpose. A person who lost a loved one might become a counselor. A person who struggled in school might become a teacher to help others. A person who grew up poor might start a charity. Our wounds can become our wisdom. Our pain can become our power. When we turn our struggles into purpose, we grow, and we help others grow too. Living with purpose daily. Living with purpose does not mean you have to quit your job or change everything overnight. It means you start doing things that align with your values and dreams. Maybe you spend 1 hour a day working on your passion. Maybe you volunteer. Maybe you start a small side project. Purpose grows step by step. The more you walk towards it, the stronger it becomes. Even small actions can have big meaning when they come from purpose. Your purpose can change lives. Never think your purpose is small. One kind word can save a life. One small act can inspire someone. One dream can change a whole community. When you live your purpose, you give others permission to do the same. You become a light in the darkness, a voice of hope, a symbol of strength. Your purpose is not just for you. It is a gift to the world. Purpose is the fuel for a beautiful life. Think of life like a car. Needs are the fuel that keeps the engine running. But purpose is the destination. Without fuel, you can't move. But without a destination, you're just driving in circles. Fuel helps you move, but purpose tells you where to go. When you have both, life becomes a beautiful journey. In the end, remember this: needs help you survive. Purpose helps you live. Needs are necessary, but purpose is powerful. Purpose gives you direction, passion, and strength. It turns ordinary life into an extraordinary journey. So don't live just to eat, sleep, and work. Live to create, to love, to give, to grow. Live with meaning. Live with fire. Live with purpose. Because purpose is not just more important than need. It is the reason we are alive.